Welcome to Curiosity Sanctum, where forgotten history and hidden symbols come back to life. In the heart of Europe, where cobbled streets weave through cities shaped by centuries, there rise structures that seem to defy time itself. Their spires pierce the clouds. Their walls are carved with symbols few can name. Their stained glass windows flood interiors with celestial light, casting colors not only on stone but on the human soul. These are not merely churches. These are cathedrals, vast, intricate, soaring monuments built between the 12th and 16th centuries. Notre Dame in Paris, Chartres, Cologne, Canterbury. These structures dominate not only the skylines of cities, but also the landscape of European memory. They are celebrated for their grandeur, their architectural brilliance, their enduring faith. But what if these cathedrals were more than just places of worship? What if they were books, maps, codes? What if, for centuries, we've been walking through encrypted messages, written not in ink, but in stone and glass? To understand this mystery, we must first understand what made Gothic cathedrals so revolutionary. In the early Middle Ages, churches were squat, dark, Romanesque structures, thick walls, small windows, heavy stone roofs. But starting in the 12th century, a transformation began. Builders in France, England, and beyond developed new techniques: pointed arches, ribbed vaults, and flying buttresses. These innovations allowed walls to become thinner, ceilings higher, and windows wider. Suddenly, churches didn't just sit, they soared. But the physical changes were not just structural, they were symbolic. The entire form of the Gothic cathedral was meant to draw the eyes and the spirit upward. Yet some historians and esoteric scholars believe the verticality wasn't just about reaching toward God. It was also about aligning with something else: mathematical precision, celestial geometry, and hidden knowledge that stretched far beyond Christian theology. It is no accident that many Gothic cathedrals are built according to strict geometric ratios. Circles, triangles, golden rectangles. These are not merely aesthetic choices. They are part of what has been called sacred geometry. In Chartres Cathedral, for instance, researchers have found recurring use of the number 144, the square of 12, which in Christian numerology represents divine order. The nave, the choir, the rose window, all follow geometric schemes that mirror celestial patterns. The very floor plan is often in the shape of a cross, but layered with hidden ratios linked to planets, lunar cycles, and even the golden ratio, phi. According to some, these proportions were not just chosen for harmony. They were believed to resonate with the structure of the universe itself, a kind of architectural music echoing the divine. In this way, the cathedral becomes more than a building. It becomes a model of the cosmos, a structure you don't just see, but enter. The medieval world was largely illiterate. For many, the written word was inaccessible, but stone could speak. And in cathedrals, it did. Carved into the facades are scenes from scripture, certainly, but also images that raise eyebrows. Zodiac signs, alchemical tools, mythical beasts, green men, women holding scales, swords, or scrolls, labyrinths etched into floors, towers with dimensions matching ancient solstice calendars. In the north portal of Chartres Cathedral, a figure holds a compass, a symbol not only of creation but of geometry and measure. In Strasbourg, a clock counts the days with astrological precision. In Rosslyn Chapel, a structure often linked to Templars and mysteries, musical patterns are encoded in stone carvings that resemble cymatic patterns, visual representations of sound. Was this symbolism accidental, or intentional? Were the stonemasons, the secretive guilds who built these cathedrals, embedding a message? The Compagnonnage, Freemasons, Templars, and other medieval guilds have long been associated with mystery. They were highly trained, highly mobile, and answered to no church bishop or local lord. Their loyalty was to each other, and perhaps some argue, to a higher hidden philosophy. They passed their knowledge through rituals, symbols, and initiations, not through written manuals. Their tools, the square, the compass, the level, became emblems not only of trade, but of truth. These same tools appear in carvings, manuscripts, and, centuries later, in the iconography of Freemasonry. Could the builders of cathedrals have shared secret knowledge? Could they have been preserving something, or encoding it, in structures too massive to destroy? Some theorists suggest they had access to ancient wisdom, not heretical, but pre-Christian. Mathematical, astronomical, philosophical truths passed down from Egypt, Greece, or Mesopotamia, woven into Christian forms to preserve them in plain sight. Light plays an extraordinary role in Gothic cathedrals. It is more than illumination, it is transformation. Stained glass windows were not only artistic triumphs, they were sermons in color. Reds and blues chosen for emotional impact, patterns that moved with the sun, and placement that often aligned with solstices or equinoxes, casting light on specific altars or sculptures at key moments. In Chartres, at noon on the summer solstice, a beam of light passes through a single small hole and lands precisely on a metal nail embedded in the floor. A phenomenon only visible on that day. Coincidence? Or a message that those who built the cathedral understood more than just structure? They understood time? What else could be hidden in the dance of sunlight through stone? The Catholic Church never officially denounced these symbols, but neither did it promote them. Some scholars argue that the hidden codes were tolerated because they did not directly contradict doctrine, while others believe the Church simply didn't understand the full extent of what was being built in its name. Still others argue that bishops were complicit, using the cathedrals to communicate with both the faithful and the learned in two separate languages, one of scripture and one of symbols. It is no accident that during the Inquisition, interest in geometry, alchemy, and ancient knowledge was increasingly viewed as heretical. Books were burned, guilds were suppressed, mystics were executed. But the cathedrals remained, their messages too massive to be erased. Today, scholars and enthusiasts, using everything from drones to AI, are analyzing cathedral layouts, carvings, acoustics, and alignments in new ways. Some believe the rose windows of cathedrals encode star charts. Others find hidden acoustical chambers tuned to specific frequencies. Some even claim the cathedrals were constructed as vibrational resonators, designed to uplift human consciousness. Skeptical? Perhaps. But dismissing centuries of symbolic language risks missing something profound. The mystery isn't solved. In many ways, it's only deepening. We live in a world of short attention spans and instant messages, but the builders of the Gothic cathedrals thought in centuries. They carved their messages into stone, knowing most would not understand, at least not immediately. They embedded knowledge in form, light, sound, and symbol. They built cathedrals not only to glorify God, but to echo truths that perhaps transcended religion. And now, centuries later, we are just beginning to hear what the stones have whispered all along. But what are they really saying? What secrets lie hidden in the geometry, the symbols, the strange alignments of light and shadow? And who were the minds behind it all? In part 2, we go deeper. into the lives of the builders, the hidden logic behind the design, and the symbols carved where few would ever think to look. The journey has just begun.